It was difficult. You know, the first half, Creighton did a very good job of frustrating us and getting a lot of numbers around the ball, and we weren't as sharp. We were fighting against coming out flat after the Bedlam game, and we talked about it, but it's a hard thing to do emotionally. So combination of us being a little bit flat and Creighton doing a very good job of defending us in the first half, but second half was excellent. I thought we came out, tons of energy, our movement was much better decisions in the final third, and you know, I think Creighton started to wear down towards the end.
And just between the first half and the second half, kind of what did you talk to the girls about between them and get them motivated to go out there and score so much in the second half?
Yeah, we talked about a little bit of better composure in the final third. I thought that you know, some of our touches were off in vital moments, and then we talked about you know, our runs up there. We told Marlowe to stay a little bit higher and get on the shoulder of the last defender to get in behind. We talked about getting Anna and JC on the ball just in front of their back line, and in the first half we kind of bypassed them. I think our kids were trying to go over the top too much, but the second half we made a couple of adjustments up there and the kids were great.
And you had Charmaine Morgan out there scoring her third career goal, and then also kind of what does she contribute both defensively and offensively?
I think the most impressive thing with Charmaine right now, beyond scoring 3 goals from that position, is just her ability to get up and down the flank. It's amazing. She's very fit, very athletic, and willing. I know a lot of times it's one thing to say somebody's fast, but you got to be willing to run and work, and she puts in a powerful shift every time she plays. So just over the moon with Charmaine. She's having a great season.
And last season she didn't score a goal. Just in general, besides that, of course, what differences do you see from last season to this
Just
season?
more confidence for sure. I mean, you can tell, and we've pushed her higher up the field. We're playing a different system this year. It allows our wide players to get forward more, and that seems to be helping Charmaine for sure offensively, and just a little bit more belief. You know, I think she's come back a year wiser. You know, we tend to forget Charmaine, Julia, JC, that whole crew. They were all freshmen last year, and they played a ton, and now I think we're seeing the fruits of that labor. They've worked very, very hard, and they're much better players this year than they were last year.
Same kind of thing for Hannah Webb. She also got an assist on that. So how's the change of the formation just creating a lot more offensive opportunities for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're playing with what we'll call wingbacks, those wide kids that get up and down the flank, and they're getting into some great offensive positions. Hannah Webb, Claire was really good today as well, and Charmaine, and then Ali Rivers from the same position had the last assist. So it's an area where we're able to get forward more than we did last year, and it definitely helps our team. And you know, we looked at this shape in the spring just because we thought it might suit our personnel better, that we had returning and coming in, and so far it definitely seems to have done that.
Taylor Olson getting her first career goal.
Yeah.
How nice is it to have somebody freshman that can just?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I think it's 9 different people who have scored now. It's kind of crazy. I've never experienced anything like that. So, but yeah, Taylor, you know, she scores in training. She scores in the warm-up. She can crush a ball. So for her to get that goal hopefully gives her a lot of confidence.
Lena, she doesn't get that much play time. How is it nice to see her get a goal out there when she gets opportunity?
Probably the happiest moment I had in the game. You know, that kid for 4 years here has just worked her socks off in training every day. She's a positive kid, never a negative word out of her mouth, and whenever you can reward a kid like that, I think you want to. I certainly do, and for her to score, I mean, we all jumped up off the bench. It was a great moment, and there's not a player here that deserves it more than Lana.
Do you think Heat had any impact on the game?
A little bit. I mean, I think late the other team tired, but you know, when you're chasing around a lot, like the first half they did a lot of work to close us down. So second half, after all that work, I'm sure the kids started feeling it, especially their back line. From our standpoint, you know, it's not as hot this week as it was last, so we felt pretty good. And you know, obviously Mal does a great job with our conditioning, so I think this team looks like they're in very good shape right now.
Also, I've noticed sometimes when JC's on the ball, she looks for the perfect pass opposed to shooting.
Yep.
Is that
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a fine line. We talk about shot selection with our group as well, and we want to make sure that we're trying to make better decisions in front of goal and not take bad shots. But at the same time, she and Marlowe and Anna, they obviously have the ability to crush the ball. So it's, you know, we want them to take better shots, but we also want them to pull the trigger when it's on. And then, yeah, squeezing that final ball, it's the same thing. I mean, JC's got the ability to play that beautiful through ball, and she might miss on 4 of them, but the 5th one's going to go through and will score. So, you know, you want her to get it through all the time, but at the same time, you know, it's not a high percentage ball, but when it comes off, it's usually a goal. So it's okay.
Clean sheet today. What did you see from your back line?
Backline was great. You know, early in the game, I thought we were giving one of their players too much space. She checked off. Their center forward kept checking, and we didn't go with her. So that was, you know, not the best from our standpoint. But we adjusted at halftime, and you know, that back 3, and then Rachel played a ton of minutes today. The 4 of those kids in the back have been really solid for us.
And going into the next match against Texas A&M with your undefeated record, how much pressure does that put on you all to keep that up?
No pressure on us. Nobody expected us to be this good, so we're just taking it game by game. There really isn't any pressure. We're enjoying it. The coaches are really enjoying the season so far. Kids are smiling, so we'll go to A&M knowing how difficult a game it's going to be, but also really excited. It's going to be an awesome game.